never slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fake.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? Welcome back. We are going to be doing another modding tutorial. Today we are going to go into wheel swaps, and which will also apply to most simple parts swaps, and also apply to parts adds as well. For the most part, I will tell you as I go through some of the things that are different between wheel swaps and part swaps and parts adds, but there isn't much. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I've picked out two mods here so that we it's a pretty simplistic setup, so that way anybody that is a beginner can kind of get a gist of an idea on something simple, and as you further mess around and get your feet wet into GE and editing vehicles, you can expand your horizons as to doing things with dynamic wheels, things with multiple wheel configurations. But for right now, we're going to keep it really simple so that way it's easy to follow along and easy to be able to hopefully get your first edit done and have something really cool with a vehicle that's got wheels. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take both of these mods, and the first absolute thing you have to do and need to do is we're going to unzip them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to 7-zip, just like I showed you in the last video. That was one of the items I recommended to download. Again, that's my preferred method, not to say that you can't use something else, whether it be WinRAR or some other form of a program, but this is what I choose to use. So we're going to go ahead and unzip that. That's going to bring our unzipped version right here. And then we're going to unzip this one here as well. Alright, so that brings both our trucks into unzipped folders. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the commons and we're going to add a set of wheels to it. So we're going to go ahead and open that in GE. And let's see here. Okay. Looks like somebody was already adding wheels to this, but that's okay. We'll just go ahead and delete all this because we're not going to use it. Alright, so we're going to minimize that down. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to open the Chevy. Alright, so, and I'm not sure what's up with this truck, but okay. We're going to go ahead and delete this stuff too, it's not needed. Alright. Okay, these are dynamically loaded wheels. So, we actually don't need this file here. Go into this one here. I'll just go for these mud tires. Alright. Alright, those are pretty decent wheels. And sometimes you'll see this with wheels where from inside out you can see through them. That's not a complete game changer or an issue. What that is it's because all the faces of the tire model are facing outwards. I personally, when I do wheels in Blender, I like to solidify them. So don't let that be a discouragement to you if you happen to see this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat here and show you how to take care of situations where you export a wheel and the textures don't export. So what we're going to do is, as you see, I came over here and I just completely removed the texture. So what we're going to do is we're going to export this selection, and we're going to export it to the desktop, and we're just going to call this mud tire. And we're not going to save that. Alright, and here's our file that we saved. Okay, and this is so that way you can not have to worry about issues when you're exporting a wheel, because whether you're exporting it from another truck that's already in FS22 or a car, whatever the situation may be, or even a tractor. And say if you want to export it from a FS19 mod, this is something you're going to have to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to the wheels, and let's go ahead and just replace this one right here. Alright. And as you see, we have a tire here that has, let me create a light here that'll help us see. Always, when you create a light like this, you always make sure that you delete it when you're done. I don't know how many times that I've seen people put lights in a mod like this, and when they get out, they'll scratch their heads and they fight and everything else and wonder why the daggone thing keeps having error just doing a simple wheel swap. That will do away with your wheel swap issues. Or I'm sorry, do away with your error issues. And we're going to do a show, and this gives us the ability to see our light. And this isn't exactly rocket science. You don't have to be perfect with it. Just enough so that way you can see what you're doing. But as you can see, you have a BF Goodrich mud train here. And in this file, because of the way the person did the model, the letters are separate from the wheel. So in this case, unless you luckily have a tire that's going to work with it, you're going to actually be changing both these two items. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to import, then we're going to go to our desktop. We're going to find that mud tire that we exported from the other truck. And we're just going to come up here. And we're going to simply go to replace under edit. The other option is that you can hit Control W. So we're just going to do a replace, hit the mud tire, hit load, hit replace all. And now as you see, the tire is actually too big, which is not necessarily an issue. And the reason it's too big is because if you look over here, the scale was not frozen from the previous truck, which is not a big deal, but we're going to go ahead and show you how to fix that real quick. Let's just take this down to 0.45. That was pretty doggone close of a guess. Oh no, was it? So let's go, maybe I should have left it where it was at. Alright, 0.70 looks like it's going to be right. Alright. Now, what we need to do is go over here and see, does our width look correct? No, it does not. So we're going to pull that out. Let's go 0.40. This is where it comes into, it's going to take a little playing around and a little figuring out exactly what looks right to you. Alright. Let's go. I say that's good enough, at least for the tutorial. Alright. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the gloss map. And then we're going to have to go to our desktop here. And we're going to have to find our truck that we're working on, the mod folder. We're going to have to go into new shaders, do gender 1 because gender 1 has dirt but no wear. Tires don't get rusty, don't get scratches. Not like you would see on a body at least. So we're going to do gender 1. Gender wear 2 gets scratches and dirt both. So we're going to stick with gender 1. Then we're going to go in here. I'm going to go back into the folder. And we're going to find our normal. Select normal. Then our final option is we're going to go into our farming simulator shaders. Now, I've went back and forth with a couple of people, and some people say that you can use the or put the shader in the mod folder, and some people have told me you cannot. I have not successfully been able to get it to work for me. So this is just making it so that we reach directly from the game file path, which saves the size of the file some. So it helps some, but just for the sake of the video, it doesn't matter where your vehicle shader path is that's what you got to change. So we're going to do vehicle shader. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to change this to color mask. Alright. And now, in this case, as you see, the tire goes to pardon me, yellow. And the reason that is because somebody U-dimmed this tire as a color matte versus U-dimming it as rubber. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the tire and we're going to change this to 5. And why am I going to change this down here to 5? Because I know from experience that that is rubber under the color materials grid. And how I know that is, give me 1 second and I will show you. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and change our color real quick of our tire. Let's go with 0.01, 0.01, and 0.01. Alright, that will give us our rubber tire. And as you can see, that is definitely a rubber material. So at this point, you can take the light you created, delete it, save your vehicle, go in the game, and you should absolutely have no issues with your mod and the wheel showing up. Now, on the other hand, if when you started your edit of your mod, just like I did, if your wheel was set as invisible, then you need to remake that invisible. And another way that you can always do it is you can always go into your other wheels and see how they're set up. So in this case, if I would have left this as invisible, we would have had issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, go to invisible, go up to the top, click save, exit, go in the game, and this is after you've done all 4 tires, of course. Jump in the game and everything's going to work just fine for you. Now, as far as showing you how I knew what the color material is, based on experience. One, I have a cheat sheet which I will leave in the description below. I will leave a link to in the description below. And 2, it's something that once you get to the point to where if you build yourself up to start working in Blender, it'll kind of become second nature to you. But for starters, I will put the cheat sheet in so that way you guys can be able to look in, and anytime you want to change the body color or anything like that, once you import it apart, you'll be able to do so and not have issues. Another thing, if you see a mod that has lights on like this in GE, make sure you go through and you shut every single one of them off. The reason being is because when you load in a new mod in whether it be in store or whether you just freshly load a game, every single light that is on in GE will be on in game. So as a common practice, you don't want that because say you have 25 mods with all the lights on that are not supposed to be on, that's going to actually weigh down on your GPU and potentially cause issues of your game lagging. It's not going to game break, but it's definitely going to be a potential issue of your game lagging. So we went through the whole situation as far as wheels, and the only difference that I can tell you between adding in a part versus adding in a wheel, and this is just only on a general basis. Of course, we had a wheel that happened to work out to where it was color matte set, is generally the color material. And you'll be able to go through and let me pull that wheel back up for 1 second. You'll be able to go through and you'll just have to play with these numbers. And once you see the color material cheat sheet that I'm gonna share with you, you'll be able to kind of figure out what color meta is set to and which one of these areas you need to come over to and mess with, so that way you can be able to change the color to whatever you prefer. until you get to the point to where you can script them in as a color selectable material. But at this point, we're 100% done. If I was to save this and enter into GE, everything would work perfectly fine, I can guarantee. And even if that wheel had been exported from a FS19 mod, I can guarantee that mod will work perfectly fine, and there will be no issues with the tires showing up. There will be no issues with the wheels looking funny. So we're not going to save that just because I don't want to personally save that wheel, because I'm not using the mod with that one individual wheel changed. But if we go in here and we go to my sheets, that is not it. There we go. Material grid list. As you see, there's a whole list of materials over here, and this is what our wheel was set to, was color mat 1. Okay, so firstly, we know that the particular yellow was color mat 1, so we know that's the first few numbers we got to change. We know our color is black, so what we need to do is we just need to find out what is black. So here, if you look, we have 5, which represents the N number that I changed to 5 because I knew that needed to be changed to 5 forever. Now another way you can do it is you can always go on Google, and you can look up color codes by RGB. And if you say you want to look up 2014 GMC Sierra paint code by RGB, it will come up with, and I'm not going to give you an exact number because I don't know for sure what an exact number is for any specific paint code. But say it's a purple color, it will come up with, say, a 0.05 red and a 1.2 blue, for example, and a 0.00 on the green. So that is a definite way that you can always figure that out. I will go into a little bit further detail with stuff like that in a future video. I don't want to make it too confusing at this time, but as I said, I will put a link to this in the description, so that way you guys have something to reference from. And as you have time, you'll be able to go through this grid and you'll kind of get a little bit of a hang of it, and I will go a little bit further in depth with this grid in a future video as well. So I hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone